Kind of fogged things up, didn't I? Well, it's been about 48 hours since we started our bone broth. I wish you could smell this house. It smells wonderful. Open cabinet bugs me. Welcome back. This is part 2 of what to do when you can't garden. And so we decided to make some bone broth. This is a long process. We're going to strain this, drain it, strain it, whatever, filter it, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to pressure can it today. Let's do it. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to turn our cooker off. Like I say, it's been 48 hours. And again, I wish you could smell this. The first thing we want to do is we want to get all the solid, the big stuff out. I've just got this little deal here. It's a strainer. We want to save as much of that broth as we can. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is, no, I'm not going to do that. This is a pretty fine mesh on this little strainer here. We'll lose a little bit, but it's okay. And there's actually still some meat left in this, on these bones a little bit. So we may go ahead and make a second batch. I don't know. Kind of on a time restraint. Come out of there. That big bone's hanging me up. We're going to strain this before we put it in the jars. We don't mind a few little particles of vegetables and you'll be okay in this because we're gonna pressure can these. You want to pressure can your acids because they have no, or your meats because they don't have any acids in them to speak of. We're going to end up with about a half a roaster full here. And we're going to put these in pints because the main purpose for this is for collagen for my wife, but we will use it for some soups and some stuff like that. We're going to strain this out into a big pot here in just a second. So that's step 1. Let me finish getting all this out and then I'll show you the next step. Okay. We're going to begin to ladle this again through a strainer into this pot. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to let this cool, and as it cools, all the tallow or the fat that I told you about is going to come to the top And we are going to save that tallow to put in our deep fryer for when we make French fries or something like that. And again, I mentioned this in the first video. Tallow is not for everybody. It has a different flavor to it. But I have had some steak fries that were fried in that, and pretty good. I know you're thinking, why don't he pick that up and just pour that in there? Slow and easy. Enjoy the process. That's one of the problems that we have in our nation today, is we want everything right now. Alright, I gotta empty my strainer. Be right back. I'm fixing to have me a cup of this. Kind of show you what we ended up with. As you can see, that stuff right there, that's the tallow, that's the fat. You can see it already forming up here on the top. It's coming to the top, and as it cools it will, and it'll actually get hard, and we'll scrape that off, and then this will be our finished product. But there's our bone broth, and as soon as we get that tallow off there, we're going to start canning. Well, we waited till the next day. I put this in the fridge overnight, and as you can see, all of our tallow or our grease came to the top. Now we're going to get this off the top, and there's a bunch of it. Like I said, we're going to save this. I'll be real careful. Get as much as you can. All we want left is that broth. Forgive me, I'm going to use my hands. I did wash them this morning. You can see the color of that broth. Uh-oh. That didn't work, but it'll float. I'm going to get my strainer. I'm going to strain the biggest part of that off. A little bit won't hurt you. But you can see what we got left. Let's strain it and get it in the jars.